Ah yes, Mortal Kombat. Believe it or not, MK was my very first game ever. I remember being around 2 years old when my parents took me to their friend's house. And to keep me from getting in the way of the adults, they placed me in the next room with a TV and a console that resembled a Famicom. Though it was probably some kind of a Famiclone model that was abundant at the time in Eastern Europe. And there I discovered Mortal Kombat. It was either 1994 or 1995, so it was likely MK2 or even MK3. I vaguely remember the Living Forest stage, Liu Kang shooting fireballs and Sub-Zero freezing enemies. I was absolutely amazed. On our way home, I couldn't stop talking about the guy who freezes enemies. Not knowing how to read English at that time, I simply called Sub-Zero the freezer guy. My excitement was so evident that my parents soon bought me my first console, marking the start of my gaming journey. Thus, Mortal Kombat holds a special place in my heart as the first game I ever played. Now, with the release of MK1, I think it's a fantastic opportunity to show my appreciation for the game by aiming to complete the Platinum trophy here as well. Actually, fighting games have always fascinated me as a competitive genre. I grew up in a time when there was no online play, so we often gathered with my schoolmates at someone's home to play games like Tekken or Soul Calibur. We all had our favorite characters and everyone tried to memorize different 10-hit combos in Tekken or elaborate moves in Soul Calibur. Ah, those were the good times. And actually during my university days I transitioned to play Guilty Gear and even entered a few tournaments. I mostly mained Baiken and I even got to semifinals in one of the tournaments, but actually didn't win anything. And of course, admittedly, my skills have grown a bit rusty over time, considering I wasn't really that good anyway. And of course, the landscape of fighting games has evolved significantly since then. However, I'm eager to see if I can still execute some impressive moves. So let's see how it goes. But first, of course, let's dive into the Platinum overview. MK1 has 51 trophies including the Platinum. We will need to complete the story mode, of course, and also grind a lot of invasions. There are also a few online trophies, but nothing too serious. Fortunately, there is no trophy to become an Elder God in a current season or something like that. Otherwise, it would be impossible for me. So with that being said, let's dive right in, and first of all, I go to practice mode to check what's up and learn the ropes. To be completely honest, nothing much has changed since MK11. The only two new additions to gameplay are the cameo characters. Though I was a bit disappointed that the crushing blows were not in the game anymore. I thought it was a cool addition that made battles much more cinematic. Anyway, we complete the tutorial and receive Become a Ninja in No Time achievement right away. After that, I wanted to dive into the story mode, but it was pretty late at night and my wife also wanted to watch the story, so she went to sleep and I decided to focus on invasions in the meantime. We start the invasion and get through a few tutorial fights here as well, before receiving the key to Johnny Cage's mansion along with ABACABB achievement. And from here I just continue playing the invasions. I started during season 2, so Nitara was the main villain here. Actually, regarding the invasions, there's not a lot to talk about. You just progress from battle to battle, collect treasures and find key items to progress further into the stage to kill a boss. So let's just go over some miscellaneous trophies from invasions quickly. First of all, we complete 5 unique encounters for So I Just Kill Stuff. And by that time I also get some combat card backgrounds, and upon changing something on the combat card we also get Witness Me achievement. Next we use a talisman as part of the tutorial and also get ultimate power. And boy, I have to say these talismans are getting pretty ridiculous by the end of the invasions, so we will return to them a bit later. We also forge a new talisman to get So Krafty. Deal 10,000 damage to opponents to get Titan achievement. We complete a survival encounter for Made It Out Alive, clear an obstruction in invasions for Make Way, I'm Coming Through, and finally complete Cage Mansion tutorial for It Has Begun. From this point, we are introduced to messes. These are basically different worlds of this season that we have to complete before we can reach the final mesa with Nitara as the final boss. We trade for an item from an Earthrealm shop and get Take and Deny achievement. And by the way, shout out to Kollector. We also complete 25 unique encounters for Adventure Time, and also by the time we complete a weekly quest for Working Overtime. And closer to the end of the first mesa, we also defeat a mini-boss in Invasions to get Not So Big Now, Are You? And after a few more battles, we also complete 3 daily quests and get the Quest Master achievement. A very big title for completing only 3 quests though. And actually from this point the game basically just rewards you for anything that you do, that there's going to be just a lot of achievements coming, one after another. We equip our first relic and get always Accessorize, survive an ambush to get Stop Hiding, and recharge the talisman for the first time to get Running on Empty. Finally, we get to the boss of the first Mesa, who is Raiden, and Liu Kang for some reason asks us not to finish him, and I do that thinking there will be some kind of a reward for this, but it seems it does not change anything. Weird stuff, but okay. And from here I just continue playing invasions and get more trophies. I reach invasions level 5, spill 5000 pints of blood, trade for an item from an outworld shop, reach invasion level 10, and finally obtain a total score of 5 million in gateway towers, which was totally not hard and I did it on my first try. So anyone who is complaining that this achievement is hard, well, I don't know. Get good probably. And finally we can delve into the story of MK1. I'll share my thoughts on the narrative, so if you'd like to avoid spoilers, please skip ahead to this timestamp. The storytelling style in MK1 is consistent with previous games. We experience a series of cutscenes and play as different characters in each chapter, typically engaging in 3 to 4 battles to progress the story. And frankly, I don't understand the criticism the story has received. In my opinion, the story is quite engaging. Sure, there are some logical gaps and odd choices in the backstories of characters, but if you see it as a heartfelt tribute to the entire franchise, complete with nods to MK movies and classic games, it's quite enjoyable. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, there's a lot to like here. I don't know what did people expect, a story about Johnny Cage dealing with a divorce in a lawyer drama, or a sitcom about Kung Lao and Raiden's everyday life in a small Chinese village? Anyway, in this reality, Kung Lao and Raiden, who might be called Liu Dian, considering his Chinese roots and that Raiden is basically a Japanese name, they join forces with Liu Kang, a god of fire and protector of Earthrealm, to compete in the interdimensional ripoff of the Quest movie. Liu Kang also recruits Johnny Cage, who basically is the same Johnny Cage as we know, and Kenshi, now a descendant of the Taira clan and a Yakuza member. Meanwhile, we also get a glimpse of Kronika, who is supposedly erased from the time-space continuum. She appears before Shang Tsung, who now is a mere peddler of snake oil, and reveals his potential to become the Shang Tsung that we know, basically. And honestly, I have to say, I love Shang Tsung in MK1. I mean, just look at him. He's so smug all the time, he's so full of himself. Look at this smile. I mean, oh my god, he's a perfect villain, and, well, he always have been the perfect villain, but here, he's on another level, I don't know. He's just great, I love him. And from here we advance the story, and basically the story of MK1 is the story of all MK games from the previous timeline before the reboot, but kind of like compressed into one game. So we go through the tournament where Raiden becomes the chosen one instead of Liu Kang, and we defeat everyone in the tournament. We defeat General Shao, who is basically Shao Kahn, but who never became a Khan and never became a husband of Sindel. Win the tournament, avert the crisis of Outworld invading Earthrealm again, and everything is fine. Like, everything is like super nice and easy, like Liu Kang crafted new timeline, no issues, no villains, everything is good, right? And after the tournament we also meet Geras, who tells Liu Kang that basically Shang Tsung regained his abilities and he already infiltrated Sindel's court and he's already plotting his ways to do some trouble. So to avoid that, to intercept Shang Tsung, Liu Kang sends Kenshi, Kung Lao and Johnny to investigate in the Outworld. As they go to the Outworld's wastelands, they also meet Tarkatans with Baraka, who in this timeline basically became zombies. Instead of being like a mix between humans and demons, they are now just infected humans with a special Tarkat virus that makes them become bloodthirsty monsters. We also see that Shang Tsung is basically extracting some special serum from Tarkatans in order to, as I thought at that point, to make more Tarkatans, you know, to infect more people. But in fact, it seems that his plans are different and he just wants to cure Melina, who in this timeline is an older sister and she's basically the heir heir to Sindel, to her throne, and somehow she got infected with Tarkat virus and she becomes Mileena that we know of. And by injecting her with the serum, she can return back to her normal self and contain the virus for some time. But of course everything goes to shits and Mileena kind of like just basically blinds Kenshi outright. I mean, those sighs should have gone way inside his brain, but somehow he survives, you know, Mortal Kombat logic. Eventually the guys are imprisoned in the flesh pits and they are escaped with the reptiles' help. They also encounter Ashra, who reveals Quan Chi's soul-stealing schemes. They manage to defeat Ermac and destroy a soul stealer, and then basically return to Earthrealm to warn Liu Kang. And like, Liu Kang is like a god of fire, and he was previously the keeper of the hourglass, and he doesn't fucking know anything about it, which is kind of weird. He should be like an omnipotent guy, you know, who knows and sees everything, but somehow he doesn't know anything that happens. So that's pretty weird in my opinion. And from this point we basically get to Deadly Alliance arc of the story, where Shang Tsung and Quan Chi try to build a lot of soul stealers to power up their army of ancient Chinese emperor statues or something like that, completely omitting Mortal Kombat 4 with Shinnok, but I think it's some kind of like DLC material, so remember my words, one of the DLCs should contain Shinnok probably with this plotline. But anyway, we thwart their plans. We also learned that Kronika was not actually Kronika. Kronika was a Shang Tsung from another timeline, from like a parallel universe, so shout out to Marvel and DC probably, I don't know, to both of them. This like evil Shang Tsung is more evil than our Shang Tsung from our timeline, so that gets pretty convoluted. We have two Shang Tsungs now who both are evil, but one is more evil than another, and well, yeah, it gets pretty weird there. So after destroying the dragon army and regaining his powers as a titan, Liu Kang unites with allies across timelines for a decisive battle against Titan Shang Tsung and his army. And we get a very nice scene with the original Kitana, who is the lover of original Liu Kang. So that's quite nice. Actually, the whole thing about this like Marvel-esque, comic-like battle between alternative versions of good MK characters and alternative versions of bad MK characters, all coming from different universes, is just amazing. I don't know. I'm a big sucker for parallel universe type of thing, so I just love it. And especially when they introduced a lot of parallel universes characters that you can find in the last chapter, like Scorpion Kung Lao or Quantum Chi. I mean, Quantum Chi, guys. This is amazing. And more to that, if you replay the last chapter, you will get different hybrid fighters as your enemies. And I guess this is a callback to create a fighter from Armageddon, but I think overall it's an awesome idea to put those funny characters in the game. Pure fan service, and I love it. And personally, I replayed this chapter maybe 3 to 4 times just to see different hybrid characters, and I think I saw maybe 7 to 8 different ones. But there is also a video on YouTube, I will place a link in the description. The guy basically extracted all possible hybrid characters from the game into one showcase, and I was actually amazed that there's, I think, like maybe 50 or 60 different hybrid characters. This is just crazy. I love it. I just love it. I don't know. I love this game. So, in the conclusion of the story, our victory erases Titan Shang Tsung and his timeline completely, restoring peace to the universe. But of course, in the mid-credit scene, we also see a Titan Havoc and his sidekicks who are dressed like Aztec warriors or something. And to be honest, I thought it's just like a mix-up for invasions, basically. But considering Season 1 final boss was Scorpion and Season 2 boss was Nitara, so I guess Havoc will be some kind of a DLC boss or something like that. So I didn't really understood why they put Aztec Havoc there, but yeah, I mean, it's just fun. I think it just basically means that the battle will go on because there's an infinite number of alternative universes with good and bad characters and infinite number of variations of them. Basically, the Mortal Kombat will be infinite. And there it goes, the story of MK1. And to be honest, I think you understood that, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's just nice. I mean, it's just pure fan service that I appreciate. And of course, we receive a lot of achievements by completing the story. We get a new timeline for completing 50% and what just happened for completing 100% of the story. We also get thank you for being a fan achievement for watching all credits until the very end. And boy, those were like 30 minutes long and gave me some Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater vibes. By the way, if this video gets to like, I don't know, 1000 views, I will platinum all the remakes of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2 and 3. So yeah, like and subscribe. And finally, we also get Who Was That? For replaying the last chapter again with a different character. And with the story mode wrapped up, I shifted my focus to completing the invasions, which brought a series of achievements again. I performed 10 different brutalities for Karnage, spent 10,000 seasonal credits and used a talisman 10 times, also spent 10,000 coins at the shrine and also equipped 3 different relics. And in the meantime, we also reached invasions level 20 for another achievement. And also we completed 5 unique Test Your Might encounters. And to be completely honest, it was a bit of a letdown because the variety of Test Your Might encounters are basically just different character hats that we need to crush, which felt like to be honest, a missed opportunity. And also, we used 10 different consumable items and got the achievement for that as well. And finally, we reached the final boss of the season, Nitara. As expected, the final boss was challenging, offering a grueling 5-round battle and equipped with powerful gimmicks. However, I had an ace up my sleeve. I had an item that allowed infinite use of my talisman during a single battle. Of course, I tried to use it, but I also realized that talisman actually doesn't have a cooldown. So basically the remainder of the fight with Nitara was something like this. And upon defeating Nitara, we also earned Vanquished achievement, marking the end of a satisfying and eventful journey through Invasions mode. Moving on, I focused on the classic towers, aiming to complete them with 5 different characters. This endeavor conveniently aligned with several other achievements related to executing various fatalities and brutalities. And after some time, I managed to unlock the Deadly Assassin achievement for performing 20 different fatalities, and also another achievement for using 10 different cameo characters. Also another achievement for executing 10 unique cameo fatalities, and finally completing the tower 5 times. And also around this time, the season's Titan battles became available. Without hesitation, I tackled and defeated Titan General Shao, successfully securing the Mighty Have Fallen achievement. Also, I have discovered that you can get a secret battle if you defeat the last boss Nitara with Sub-Zero, who is hinted to be the boss of the upcoming season. Following through with this, I was able to engage in a clandestine fight against another Sub-Zero, earning myself another achievement in the process. And finally, I realized that there is an achievement for completing the classic towers with 10 characters, while I initially thought it required only 5. So I quickly set out to accomplish this, working towards unlocking the achievement aptly named Happy Endings. And from here there are only few achievements left, and I finally decide to go online. And of course, firstly, we go for a total disrespect achievement by doing a full-fledged taunt during the online match. And after that I just played 5 online matches. To my surprise, I managed to win one of them, which, considering the competitive nature of Mortal Kombat's online play, isn't too bad, I think. Honestly, the skill level of players online is pretty formidable, so winning even 1 out of 5 matches felt like a stroke of luck for me. And upon completing the 5th match, I unlocked the Contender achievement, of course. Lastly, for the online achievements, we have the King Slayer, that is earned by defeating the King of the Hill and claiming the throne for yourself. This achievement can swing between being relatively easy to incredibly challenging, depending largely on your skill level and a bit of luck, of course. It took me about 3 to 4 matches before I finally succeeded in dethroning the king. Interestingly, my victory came against a fellow Omni-Man player, which made the achievement feel even more satisfying. And from this stage, the only task left was to spend an hour in practice mode. Initially, I intended to genuinely use this time to practice combos for a full hour, but I quickly found myself losing interest. So I decided to use this time for something more engaging. And by more engaging, I mean watching YouTube shorts, and especially Atarashi Gakko. Hey. Oh. And now we are down to the final two achievements, which, believe it or not, are the most grind-intensive parts of the game. The task is to level up 5 different cameo characters to the maximum rank of 15. Put the grind into perspective, I exclusively played Invasions with Frost as cameo character, completed all Invasion messes, conquered all classic towers with Frost, and used her in all online matches. Even after all that, I only managed to bring her to around rank 12. And this took me about 7 days, so you can imagine the extensive grind required to level up 5 characters to the max rank. However, of course, there is a workaround for that. You see, in MK1, experience is divided into 3 categories: completion of the fight itself, a bonus for performing a fatality or a brutality, and on top of that, you also receive a third batch of XP for achieving a flawless victory. In Season 1, you could actually enter low-level survival fights and defeat all 3 opponents with a single hit. By defeating all 3 opponents with one-hit kills and ending with a brutality, you could earn a significant XP boost, about 370% more than a regular fight. But of course, NRS patched this exploit in Season 2. So when I tried a low-level survival fight, I only received about 10 XP, and it seems they also adjusted the damage so one-shot kills weren't feasible anymore. However, a Reddit user named Herman Fee, shout out to Herman Fee, discovered another method that is working for Season 2. The strategy is this: there is a seasonal tower in the central mesa that randomly changes but levels up each time you complete it. Starting at level 10, if you have the time to repeatedly clear it, you can level it up beyond level 30. Which is the max level for you and other story battles. This way, you can earn massive XP, exponentially more as the gap between your level and the tower level widens. The only downside is that this tower includes 10 fights, 4 or 5 of which are mini-boss battles with super armor and 2 rounds. But determined, I got to grinding. And remarkably, it paid off. I think I pushed the tower to around level 53, and at that point, achieving a flawless victory and brutality would net me nearly 3k cameo experience in one go. This method allows you to level up a cameo from 1 to 15 in about maybe 30 minutes, and you have to clear the tower maybe 2 or 3 times. And by the way, the ideal battle looks something like this. And yes, you can equip a talisman that basically makes your character fart and insta-kill an opponent. If you time an uppercut right, you can also squeeze in a brutality in there, ending a fight in around maybe 5 seconds. I don't know why, but this is kinda awesome to pull off. So, with that being said, we finished leveling Frost to get Body System achievement, and then quickly switched to the other characters. I chose to level up Cyrax, Sector, Sub-Zero, and newly added Tremor. And as soon as I got Tremor to rank 15, I got Rollin with my Krew and a Platinum trophy for MK1. Hey guys, this is me from the future. So while I was editing this video, Season 3 came out, and because I love you guys and I hate myself, I already completed it. And I can confirm that actually the same grinding method with the seasonal tower works fine in Season 3 as well. I haven't leveled my tower to level beyond 30 like I did in the previous season, but it seems nothing has changed. Of course, there are different talismans, there are different relics that you can use. There is no windbreaker, specifically the talisman that allows you to fart, but there are a lot of other things that can break the game completely. So yeah, this is a viable method still. It seems nothing has been changed, so if you are trying to do the platinum or trying to level up characters in Season 3, you can do the seasonal tower as well. Quick stats! So I got the Platinum trophy in around 1 week and 4 days, around 50 hours of gameplay total. To be completely honest, the time flew by and I was quite surprised it took me a bit more than Prey from the last video. It seems I really liked playing Mortal Kombat, so I did not notice that I have put more hours in it. And actually I am eager to continue playing. The game is nice and I like trying new characters and see who fits my playstyle the most. Sometimes I even think that I would like to play online a bit, but no, that's a bad idea. Nope. But yeah, we'll definitely try upcoming seasons and new characters that will come out in the future. So overall, MK is a great game and I would proudly give it maybe 9 out of 10. I really don't understand all the hate surrounding it. I guess people just need something to complain about. And you know, if you compare Mortal Kombat on release with Diablo 4 on release, you will immediately see the difference. So yeah, shut up guys. The story is great, it is stupidly hilarious or hilariously stupid, you can pick one for yourself. The graphics are incredible and I always wonder how NRS managed to create a new visual style for every new MK game that will immediately render the previous part unplayable. I mean, I can't even look at MK11 now, it looks ugly as fuck. Anyway, once again, thank you for joining me on this platinum journey. I'm trying to dish out as many videos as I can before New Year, so there'll probably be at least 2 or 3 more videos. Well, at least I will try. Also, thank you guys for 100 subs. This is a breathtaking milestone for a slow-growing channel like mine. Let's aim for at least 1000 next year. Once again, thank you for watching and cheers!